All right, everybody, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you all for joining today. My name is Amanda Roden. I'm the Director of Program for the Research Triangle Foundation. We get to do really fun events like this for our community that bring you to that next level of business or personal wellness, whatever that might be. Today we're talking about productivity. But before we get to that, first want to thank our sponsor, Alta Davis. Everyone got some really cute bags on the way in. So big thank you to them for supporting this program for the past 6 months. A bit of housekeeping. Obviously, we've got in-person folks, and we have some folks joining us at home or wherever they're working. So we want to keep this as interactive as possible. Our expert today will be taking questions throughout, but she will have time at the end for questions and answers. So if you have a question, virtual friends, feel free to ask it, and I will be monitoring it, and I will ask it for you, or just hold it to the end, and we'll ask it then. If you're in person, we ask if you keep your mask on unless you're actively eating or drinking. All of our common areas we ask that you mask as well. Those at home virtual, each one thing. But let's go ahead and get started with this interactive piece. So for those in person, we'll go by a show of hands. For those joining us online, just type in me into the chat. And this is a question that will kind of come up a little later, but for the reason I'm asking this question, but what is your most used social media platform? So show of hands, Facebook. Okay, we got 2, 3 in here. All right. What about Instagram? A lot of Instagram. That's probably mine too. Twitter. Got one Twitter here. What about TikTok? Oh, got one TikTok here. Okay. Definitely a generational thing, I think. Okay, so Laura will kind of touch on that a little bit later too. But let me introduce you to our speaker today. So Lori is a multilingual accredited work-life flow coach and personal speaker, a professional speaker. She's an expert in working with high achievers who want to be more without doing more. She helps clients attain freedom through personal productivity. As a formally trained educator, Lori uses individualized strategies to help each unique client achieve their goals, the scope of their current resources. With that, I'll pass it over to Lori. Thanks, everybody.
I am so stoked to be here today. This is my first live presentation since I can't figure it out. So I want to say thank you so much for all of you coming today. I've met a lot of you. For those that I haven't, I'm Lori Bruhns, and thank you. So, little housekeeping. If you haven't silenced your phone, please do. But
Not switching over.
Thank you. So, my apologies. As you can see, I am on social media on many different platforms. Please feel free to let people know what ahas you get today on the various platforms that you're at. Okay, wonderful. So even though my slides aren't working, I'm going to get started. So today, there we go. Okay, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Okay, how many of you feel like this today? Over the past year and a half and everything we have done. How many? Can I get a show of hands? Yeah, okay. Some of us, not so much. I'll be honest, I really enjoyed being home. I pivoted in my business, done a lot of Zooming, a lot of Google Meets, gave me an opportunity. I have twin 15-year-olds to be part of their education, so that has been really cool. But for those of you that aren't feeling like this today, I'm hoping to change that for you. I'm hoping to give you some relief and rest. We are going to be more productive today. I'm going to help you be more without doing more. I want to help you take the resources you currently have and utilize them to get you over any productivity hurdles. As you can see, this hand, this person has many hands. How many of you feel as though you juggle a lot in your life, your business? Anybody? One person? Okay. We all have many different roles. We all wear different hats. And when we have so many things to do, it is really important to learn how to do certain things. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. For those of you that sent in information, thank you. When you registered, you said what your hurdles were. And so what I did was I took my presentation and made it so that you all get your questions answered. Like Amanda said, we will be working with questions throughout and then at the end. You all have books in front of you where you can take notes. If I'm speaking and something comes to you, please write it down. Okay, everybody raise your right hand, please. Repeat after me. I state your names. Promise to take away only one thing.
Take away only one thing
Today,
today.
so that I may master that. So
So
why did I make you do that? Can anyone tell me why I said you're only allowed to take away one thing from what I'm going to give you today? So you don't get overwhelmed. Wonderful. Any other reasons why? One thing. Yes.
You can be successful.
So you can be successful. Yes. Wonderful. And the reason I ask that you really just focus on one thing, you're going to probably take a lot of notes today and be like, oh, I want to do that. Oh, I want to do that. Oh, I'll try that. Can anyone tell me how long does it take to create a new habit?
20, 21 day, maybe month.
Okay. Any other ones? We got a month, 28, 10 days,
3 weeks.
3 weeks, a year, 90 days. 90 days. But here's the caveat with the 90 days. If you are on day 89 and you miss it, you start back at day 1. Did everybody hear that? 90 days. 90 days. How many of you have tried to create a new habit and been like, yeah, that's not going to happen this time? All right. First name.
Charlotte,
Charlotte. Can you tell me a little bit about what you did?
what I did or what I didn't.
Yes.
I was trying to make a habit of reaching out to friends, one friend a day when I was thinking of them, and I did great until people started replying back. So I sort of focused only on a certain number of people and got overwhelmed.
Okay. So Charlotte, for those of you at home, Charlotte decided that she was going to think about reaching out to people as she thought of them. Well, what happened was they started responding to her, and that got her a little overwhelmed. So once again, just kind of showing you that we try and create new habits a lot, and we fall short. And today I want to talk to you about how we can start to learn how to build habits more effectively and efficiently. Truth or myth? Just 8% of people achieve their New Year's decision. Raise your hand if you think this is truth. Truth. 8%. If you believe it is more, raise 2 hands. 2 hands, more, less. Yes. So for all of you at home, everybody might know where it is less. And it is correct. There are about 3 or 4 people, 3 or 4% of the people that make New Year's decisions. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Actually, attain it. So there are a lot of people at the end of the year going, shoulda, coulda, woulda. So we're going to stop shooting on ourselves and making sure that we get things done. What's another word when you think of this other than decisions? I'm going to make a New Year's fill in the blank.
Plans.
Resolution and
Plans.
plans. I like yours. Well, the resolution has become a negative connotation. How many of you are like, I don't make resolutions anymore? How many of you are like, yeah, New Year's, whatever's coming, coming. So what I want you to think about is a New Year's decision. New Year's decisions are more solid. When you think about the resolution, it is something that has come to be known as a dreading thing. But we make decisions all the time. So I want you to start shifting, and this is going to get me into my next thing, shifting how you see New Year's. Now, one other thing about New Year's. I know that today we are getting into our new year. Does your new year have to start on January 1st? Nope. Nope. Is there a first of the month every single month of the year? Y'all see what I'm getting at? Any month can be the start of your new year. You can make a decision to do something new for yourself whenever you want. All right, so let's talk about that. I need you to look at things differently. And what I'm talking about here is mindset. It all starts with what you think about. It's all starting here. Questions for you. How many of you on the regular basis are like, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late, I'm going to be late? Okay. How many of you on the regular are saying to yourself, I have so much to do today. I have so much to do this week. Anybody? How about people saying, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Do you all feel that way? Okay. I want you to start thinking about things differently. Energetically, it is science-based that what we put out, we bring about. I'm going to say that again. Energetically, what we put out, we bring about. So when you are in that mode and mindset of, I'm not going to get there on time. I have way too much going on. I don't have enough time. The more you say that, the more it is your reality. So we need to start with what we think and say about our day, month, year. I'm going to say that again. We need to start thinking about what we say about our day, month, year. Day, week, month, year. And really start to think about how we can look at what is on our plates different. So for example, if you are in your car and you feel as though you will be late, a mantra that I like to say to myself is, I always arrive at the right time. I always arrive at the right time. I know, it works though. I always get there at the right time. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're good. I always arrive at the right time. All right, when I have my calendar and it is filled, thank you. Love my calendar filled. And I too get overwhelmed. I like to say when I start my morning and I sit down, I have just enough on my plate. I have just enough on my plate. I have just enough on my plate. And when I get that overwhelming feeling, that helps me take it down a notch. And then finally, about time. Everyone's like, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Ladies and gentlemen, we all get about the same amount of time. We all get the same amount of time every day, 24 hours. So you got the same amount as I did, and you got the same amount as I did, and you got the same amount as he and she did. Rather than saying I don't have enough time, there's plenty of time to accomplish everything. There is plenty of time to accomplish everything. So those are 3 little mantras that I want you to think about when you are feeling overwhelmed regarding what's going on. All right, more about mindset. Amanda said, I am a work-life flow coach. I believe that balance is the B word. Bull, and then you can fill in the blank, whatever you want. Let me explain why. If I am a balance, and I am balanced, do I move? Yes or no?
No.
No, because I'm extremely balanced. I'm not going up and down, I'm balanced. What are we all made up of?
Water.
Say that again?
Water.
Water. How much percentage of us is water? Does anyone know?
93.
90%. Yes. That's why we say hydrate. So 90% of us, 90% of our makeup is water. And that is why I believe in ebb and flow. Work, life, ebb and flow. Even when you are sleeping, ladies and gentlemen, you are constantly in motion. You don't feel it, but everything in you is still going. So what about work, life, ebb and flow? Okay, so I told you that we all have the same amount of time in our day. And today I'm going to help you understand how to ride the wave of your life. So ebb and flow, it's like the ocean, okay? Tide goes out. When the tide goes out, where is the water? Close to you, far from you, where is it? Have you all been to the beach? When the tide goes out, where's the water? Can you see your toes? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. That is your go time. When the water is out in your life, when life is good, when things don't feel like they're going 110 miles an hour, that's when we do our high producing activities. And this can be daily, weekly, and monthly, okay? So tide is out. I see my toes. I can move around. The water isn't holding me down. What about when the tide comes in? Where can it be?
Up to your calves.
Up to your calves. Can it be higher? Can it be over your head? Yeah. And that is when we slow it down. So what does a tide over our head look like? I say life gives me context. And in 2020, the tide was way over my head. I said, okay, we got a tide that's over my head. We're gonna pause the business, Lori. We're gonna make sure the kids are okay. And we're gonna deal with what has you drowning. Now, the business being paused means it just goes on the back burner. It's still there. You could feel it, you know, when you have your simmer pot on, it's there. You know it's there. You touch it every so often, but not as much as you have to when it's boiling. So in 2020, I did that. I had to put a pause on my business. Knowing that it was a pause and that I had to wait for my time to go out again helped me not freak out, not go, oh my God, no one's gonna see you anymore. Oh my God, you're gonna lose all your clients. No, they're gonna be there. When the tide goes out, you ramp it up. Tide's out, here I am. You know, I can't express how important it is to give yourself permission, and I'm giving you permission as well to put a pause button on. We as humans feel like we're going. Everybody's like, hustle, grind. Well, you can only hustle and grind so much, because when you grind, what do you get? Tired and nothing. If you grind until the itty bitty, you will get nothing. So I am giving you at home and you in my audience today permission to pause, to shift your mindset instead of being a work-life balance, work-life ebb and flow, and to really start looking at your life as, is the tide out in my life or is the tide in? And how far up is it on my body? Is it over my head or is it at my calves? And today I'm going to help you match your tasks to where the wave is in that point of your life. Okay, any questions about this? All right, let's keep going. All right. I had big goals with no clue on how to actually reach them. Anybody in the audience at home or here feel that way sometimes? We learn how to set the goals, but are we taught how to achieve those goals? Today, I'm going to give you a few tips to help you get started. All right, so number one, why? Who has heard of the Simon Sisnik's why? Yes, one person? Anybody else? Two people? First name?
Sheffield.
Sheffield, nice to see you. Thank you so much for coming today. Can you give me your interpretation of what his why is?
Helping people uncover their why.
And what do you consider a person's why?
The inspiration behind what moves them.
Inspiration behind what moves them. That's awesome. I love that definition. Thank you so much. Yes. What is going to get you up in the morning? What is going to make a difference? Your why. And the one thing about our why is it can change. Everyone's like, put a why to every task? Yes. Why are you doing this? What is your end result? And what this why helps you do, and this is going to come a little later too, but I'm going to let you know. It's going to help you say, hell yeah or hell no. Okay? And we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about that in a second. But When you know your why, when you have a why for your day, your week, and your month. It doesn't have to be for your life, but I do recommend, why am I getting up today? What is my end result? And if the task is in alignment with getting there, it's a hell yes. If it is not, it's a hell no, and we need to figure out what we're going to do with that task. Okay? Does everybody understand what I'm saying here? Is it resonating with anybody? Have you ever thought about taking your day and being like, what is my why today? Anybody? You have. Okay, first name.
Ivan.
Ivan, tell me a little bit about what you've done.
Actually, I researched a little bit about productivity. Yeah, and some trainings say that you should say before your day in the morning when you wake up, you should say why I am woke up today and what I'm gonna do today. And another good thing is to say what I say thank you for I don't know, for the universe, somebody.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, and it is a good practice. Yeah, but talking about productivity, when you don't follow this practice for 90 days, yeah, you lose your experience and you need to get it from the scratch.
Yep, exactly. I'm going to just sum up what Ivan said. So Ivan has been doing this practice for a while, if I'm not mistaken, where he says and gets up and says, why am I getting up today? What is my end result? And the wonderful thing that I love that he said is a little bit of gratitude. Gratitude changes your attitude, and I will tell everybody there and over here. Gratitude will change your attitude and altitude. What do I mean by your altitude? The way you see things. The higher up you are, the more you see. And if you don't have a gratitude practice, I highly recommend it. Love it. But really understanding your why. Because I'm going to say this again, I repeat myself, but it is for you to understand how everything works. We have the same amount of time in our day. How we utilize the tasks that are in our day will help us either make it or break it. And knowing why. Like just today, my goal was to get here at 11 o'clock so I could do some mic checks and all this stuff. And if it didn't fall in alignment for me getting there till at 11, it still wasn't happening. That phone went ding, ding, ding. I'm like, oh, turn off. And we got to do stuff like that. And it's about making a decision to say no sometimes to things or say yes. All right. Questions on why?
So how is cognitively possible to do to question yourself every minute, every second, if you happen to have small tasks along the way? It's kind of like too much for cognitive capabilities of mine.
Okay, when you start something, it's always hard. So yes, when you're always thinking, why am I doing this? Should I be doing this? Yes, it's going to be hard. And the more you do it, the easier it's going to be. Like, you're not going to have to think about your why. You're going to be so programmed that you're like, oh no, I can't do this. This isn't going to help me get here. I am not going to say this is easy. The stuff that I ask you to do, I do myself. So if I can do it, you all can do it. I am no different than anyone in this room. No different. Cognitively, yes, it is hard. But once you start, it's going to be subconscious. You're going to internally know, that's not for me today. And yes, that's for me today. Yeah, that's a great question. And I'm so glad you said that, because there are many times, excuse me while I drink a little bit. Everyone's like, but how, but how? Think of anything you're going to try new. Do you know how you're going to do it? No. You got to get over the fear of the unknown and just go. Get over the fear of the unknown and just go. Any other questions about my why here? Thank you so much. Your first name again? Cuba. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Guys, these questions help make this a better presentation. All right. There's no such thing as time management. Truth or myth?
Truth.
Truth. How many believe this is true? There is no such thing as time management. How many think this is false? Okay, so truth. There is no such thing as time management. You can't manage your time. You can only manage the tasks that you put in your time. That clock is going to go no matter what's happening to you. It's going to go. You can't manage it, but you can manage the tasks. You can manage your activities. Lots of things you can manage, but time, nope. So what have I been calling it? Have you all heard it? What do I say? I don't say time management. What do I call it?
Task management.
Task management. Yes, you have the ability to manage your tasks. I'm going to help you do that today. All right. All right, next myth or truth. You should power through your slumps. How many believe you should power through your slumps? Oh, we got one. How many say no? Yes. Good. No. It is a myth. How many know about your circadian rhythm? Ooh. Nancy, I was going to call on you. Can you? I know you're chewing. Can you tell me what is your definition or thought on what is a circadian rhythm?
The times and your mind or your body is naturally ready to take on a certain kind of task, workout or writing, something called email.
Right, exactly. Your natural body's slumps and high points. How many are in tune with their circadian rhythm? Ooh, nice. Sir,
Yep.
First name?
Rob.
Rob, hi, thank you. How did you get in tune with your circadian rhythm?
Just kind of when I've got more energy during the day, I'm more of a morning person. Do critical tasks kind of mid-afternoon, late afternoon.
I'm sorry, say that nice and loud again,
Sorry.
please.
I said I have more energy in the morning and I do my more critical tasks then, and kind of my slump is more after.
Wonderful. For those at home that didn't hear him, it was awesome. He said, I'm a morning person. I do my critical tasks in the morning. Yes, Rob, thank you. That is what I'm talking about. That is knowing your ebb and flow. The ebb and flow of your body is your circadian rhythm. I too am a morning person. It is very, very, very rare that you will see me present past 3 o'clock. If I do present past 3 o'clock, it is a 7 o'clock thing and I have napped because I need a restart. And I say no to the 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock like presentations. I'm like, no, I can't. I'm not going to function right. Can we do it in the morning? Can we do it in the evening? But that 3 o'clock, no ma'am. So knowing your body to match your tasks. Everybody see where this is going? And because we know how long our tasks are going to take us, we can manage that as well. How much of this is resonating or is just giving you a different perspective on productivity? How many of you have heard this before? Oh, good. All right, awesome. Got one more. Systems are rigid and inflexible. How many believe that creating systems is way too rigid? Having a calendar is way too rigid? No one? Good. So how many believe this is a myth? Right, good. And let me tell you why. It is a myth because, believe it or not, creating systems will help you fight your fires. When you have a system in place, when you have your calendars in place, you will be able to do more with the time you have. All right, so let's keep going. How many of you feel like this? I needed a solid system for my daily tasks and income producing activities for my business. How many feel that you need more of a system? All right, so I'm going to give you some tips, but I need your questions because if you feel like you need more of a system, now's the time to ask. Priorities. Okay. How many feel that everything they have is a priority? That everything is high priority, high priority. Okay. Yes. And no. What I want you to start thinking about is, does it align with your why? If it is 100% in alignment with that why, then yes, it is a top priority. If it's 50%, goes down. 10%, even further. Will that task get you closer to your goal? And if so, how fast? How many of you are back in the office? Okay. So I want to talk to you people about being in office and having priorities. Those of you that are on teams and such like that, how many feel that there's always a top priority, that's a top priority, that's a top priority because so-and-so said so, and so-and-so said so, and so-and-so said so? Yeah. Okay. Today I want to talk to you about communication. And I'm not talking email, I'm not talking text. Can you put that up? Yeah, put it up. Way up high so everybody can see it. That is called a phone. Pick it up. That is called a phone. Pick it up. When the priorities are too much and you are in a team setting, I promise you, you will get more done if you pick up the phone and start communicating. So, what does that look like? Your first name, sir?
Kevin.
Kevin. Alicia, can we move this way a little bit? Kevin, will you do a little role play for me?
Sure.
All right, awesome. So this is what it looks like to communicate and be more productive quickly and efficiently. I would like you to ask me to do whatever task. Say, Lori, I need this done for you.
Lori, we need the TPS done report on this afternoon.
Oh, wow. Kevin, thank you so much for coming to me in person. It makes this so much easier. So Amanda needs her ABC done this afternoon at 3 o'clock. Alicia needs X, Y, and Z done at 2:30. So up until then, I'm not able to do anything, when do you need your stuff done by?
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. So you being the boss over Amanda and Alicia, do you need me to talk to them, or do you want to talk to them about you needing your prioritized faster?
I can talk to them.
Wonderful. Why don't you talk to them and then come back to me and we'll figure out the best time that I can get this done. Oh, and by the way, I have someone else that needs a project done by 5, so please do this quickly. Thank you. Applause. Did I say no? Nope. Did I let him know what was on my plate? How many of you are scared? How much does this scare the bejesus out of you to do this with your coworkers? Everyone's like, yeah, guys, this in-person stuff, this pick up the phone stuff, I promise is so much quicker than it's email, text. You laugh, tell me why.
True.
Yeah.
It's great.
We have lost what I call the art of communication. Okay, let's keep going. Become time conscious. So what this means to me is to know how long tasks take you. Start to become time conscious. I want you to know how long things take you. How long does it take you to shoot an email? How many really know what 5 minutes is? Y'all are like, oh, give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. Have you sat for 5 minutes? That's a long time. Yeah. What this does is it allows you to manage your tasks more effectively. How many use paper calendars? Nice, I love you. How many of you use electronic calendars? Nice, I love you. How many use both? I don't love you as much. You hybrids. Okay, my hybrids. How many have maybe lost a ball or two using both calendars? I see you. All right, so my hybrids, let me talk to you first. You can remain hybrid if you promise me one thing. Pinky swear me. Pinky swear me. I know, I see you back there, Mandy. You must set aside twice a week to sync your paper and your electronic calendar. Twice a week. Why am I saying twice a week? Because things happen daily. You don't need to do it daily, but I highly recommend on Sunday and Wednesday, sync up your calendars again. All my electronic people, raise your hands. All right, so electronic people. If the notification goes off, do it. You know what I'm talking about. You're like, I can't do that right now, right? Yes? Make a decision to stick to your calendars. All right, my paper people. My number one tip, always have it with you. You're laughing because you don't. No, I know. Guys, oh, and my number 2 tip for people, pencil, do not scratch out, pencil, erase that stuff, erase it. So why am I saying have it with you? How can you plan if you don't have it with you? I know you double booked, haven't you? Yes. And I don't even know you. You looked familiar to me, but I don't know you. Guys, these are like little things. All right. Last thing about being time conscious and the calendar. I got you. I see what time it is. I want you to look at your calendar as a puzzle. Okay? Each task is a puzzle piece. How many of you do puzzles? Awesome. Okay. So, did you say yes? You do puzzles? First name? Travis. So, how do you start?
The edge.
You do the edge. Yes. The edge is those tasks you know you have to do every week. I'm going to set aside time for my emails. I'm going to set aside time for my follow-up phone calls, those things you do every day. So we got the edge. Then, Travis, what do we do?
I usually organize by color, or like, if I know like certain objects of the puzzle, I organize by color.
Wonderful. So then he goes to organizing by color. And then this is where I say home, and work. Right? Home and work. Oh, I forgot to give you all this tip. One calendar for home and work. Do not have a work calendar and a home calendar, because this is work, life, ebb and flow. Put them together. Okay, so we got our two colors. And then we do what, Travis?
Figure out how they connect.
Figure out how they connect, or start plugging in the pieces. So what about this time conscious, Lori? Why do I need to be time conscious? Well, because when it says a meeting from 1 to 2, that's an hour. If something comes up like a fire and you need to move it, you can know that you have a puzzle piece that can fit in another hour block. If you know you have to do 20 minutes, 30 minutes of X, Y, and Z, and a fire comes up, move that puzzle piece and see how it fits in. All right, any questions about this? I have about 10 minutes, right? You want to stop at 1? So I have so much information. I have 10 minutes for Q&A. If anyone has any right now. Amanda.
Yes, this is coming in from Carly. She said, is there a particular app that people use if you have phone, work, kids, work schedule, doctors, all?
Okay, so can we ask Carly if she's, I assume she's electronic calendar based. Can we do that first?
Yeah.
And can you also ask her if she is iPhone or Android, if she is electronic based? Ladies and gentlemen,
She's both.
she's hybrid.
Mhm.
Oh, no app for you, Carly. No app for you. Let me tell you why. So, for everybody, the one thing that I do differently than most productivity people is I say I go back to basics. No app is going to help you say yes to when your notifications go off. No app is going to give you a mindset of whatever it is you need to do, I'm going to make a decision and do that. So when I'm an Apple person, and I have everything on one calendar. So what that looks like for me is I have connected, I'm missing a mom, and I share my twin boys with their dad. So we have the kids' calendars, and then my personal calendar. So not only do I have my personal on there, I have Lori Bruhns LLC on there, and I have the boys. And then I have my Calendly that, like, if you want to talk to me, you set up an appointment, my Calendly looks at that and says, nope, she's going to work out. No time. Yes, I prioritize that. So the app I'm going to say for you is, I highly recommend if you are using an electronic based, whatever's in your phone. Another really, really good tip. How many many have read the manuals to their phone? You laugh, Ivan, but seriously, how many have? First name, one more time. Cheryl, did you find anything interesting?
Always. Yeah.
Always. Y'all, read the manuals to your phone. I know with the Apple products, they have tips, techniques on how to use your phone efficiently and effectively. Amanda, can you ask Carly if I answered her question? Please. All right, anybody else? Nancy, yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to know, sometimes I'll see an annoying problem, repeated come up, and I'll think, oh, I'll do that later. I've got to focus on some other things. And then I go back to it and it's bothering me. Like, you have a solution for that.
Yes. And believe it or not, this came from one of the people in my presentation. It was an audience member. Nancy, think about the future you. So what do I mean by that? That annoying task. How would you feel if it was done? How would you be knowing that it is complete and checked off your list? Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is when you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, think about how good it's going to feel to just have it done. May I say what we spoke about before, what that was? All right, so Nancy and I had a few seconds to talk about what this problem was, and it was emails. How many have lots and lots of emails? All right, I am going to give you an answer that is probably very unconventional. If the number doesn't bother you, move on. If you see 3,000, 4,000, whatever, and you don't care, fine, move on. But if that does bother you, you need to set aside time and start deleting, start organizing. There's no other way around it. No one's going to do it for you. No app will do it for you. And unfortunately, I don't have enough time to talk about everything, but there are ways to do it more quickly and more efficiently. One thing is, don't open it. I need you to not open the email. If you see that it has been 6 months and it has never been opened, don't open it. Just get rid of it. Just like anything else. If you haven't used it or read it in 6 months, get rid of it. That's a whole nother session. Whole nother session. Do we have time for one more or are we good?
Yep, we have a few more minutes.
2 more minutes. Anybody else? Amanda, do you have any more online? Yes.
I have a question. Okay, so I feel like I'm very productive at work, but when I get home, like literally right when I walk in the door, I'm just tired and I can't do anything else. And I've got laundry, I've got dishes, and I just feel like I'm not productive at home, but only at work.
Okay. What makes you more productive at work?
I guess it would be being held accountable. So I guess I just need to hold myself accountable. At home.
No, hold on. So for everyone at home, the question is, I'm really productive at work. When I get home, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to do that. And I got piles of laundry, I got everything. And my question to her was, what makes you more productive at work? And she said accountable. So no, you don't have to hold yourself accountable because that's really hard. Because believe it or not, we'll be like, Laura, you want to do that? No, okay. Okay, sure. That's hard. So what I recommend is getting yourself a person that is going to be tough love on you. Why didn't you do that? What are you waiting for? And also, what I told Nancy, think about the future you. Think about that laundry being put away and you going into your closet being like, oh, I forgot I had you. So, no, don't hold yourself accountable. Ask for help. And think of the future you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So, I want to say thank you. First and foremost, you got this. Remember how I said I have a lot of tips for detoxing your inbox? If you would like to take a picture of that QR code, I'm giving my detox your inbox in 4 steps that will also subscribe you to my email list, where I give lots of productivity tips, techniques that are super easy and implementable. The learning curve is 0 to none. I want to say thank you so much for being here. I hope you have learned something new. My email is Lori@Bruhns. Feel free to email me if I know I gave you a lot of information. You go home, you process it, and you're like, oh my God, I wish you would have done this, or I have a question about this. You can find me on all my social media links. And I want to wish everybody a very happy holiday and a wonderful start